spire and clock tower. So I'm pointing it out because we'll talk to you about how that's different from today and why it's different. Just look at the proportions. That spire and clock tower is, was 240 feet. So it was quite a striking tower in its own right. Slightly different in today's version, but we'll talk about that as we move through. So yeah, if you want to make your way through into the mayor's dining room. Yeah, as part of the lottery heritage funding, a certain amount of that funding was set aside for school groups, community groups, and it's been an ongoing thing. It's just coming to an end. But this is a SEND group of children, and they were asked to kind of imagine what the mayor would eat for his lunch. So it's quite a modern take because you've got chicken nuggets and burgers and spaghetti, etc. But yeah, that's their idea of what the mayor may want for his lunch. Do have a seat again. So we're in the mayor's dining room. So again, you would have been invited to dine here. This is the table I spoke about. And have a look underneath, because again, you used some quite detailed carving on the table itself. Wow. And again, talking about things that stood the test of time, we've got colleagues on the volunteer side who worked in the town hall, and up until 2019 this was still used, because this would have been used as a meeting room. And this was used, up until 2019 before we closed, basically. So, I mean, the stenciling in here, again, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's very rich, very elegant, and as you see the light going on the design there, this is depicting an English pine forest. So kind of the main part of the design is set to depict a pine cone, basically. You've got the frieze again, which goes right across the top of the walls, and you can see different birds depicted. We've not got enough time to kind of tell you about all the detail in here, but there are 5 Aesop fables stories depicted within this room alone. So it's very much, a room of storytelling. You can see one where you are at the minute, you just landed on it there, again on the beam. So this is a story of the satyr, who again is mythological, so it's half man, half beast, who lives in the forest, and the traveller. And the satyr comes across the traveller. It's a cold, miserable day in the forest, and he's kind of lost his way, he's cold, he's hungry, etc. And he greets him and says, how are you? And he says, I'm cold, it's a cold, miserable day. And he starts blowing on his hands. He says, why are you blowing on your hands? And he said, because I'm really cold, I'm trying to warm up. So he said, well, come back to my place, sort of thing. He said, we'll get warm there. So he's still kind of blowing on his hands, and the satyr sits him down, and he said, well, have a bowl of broth. He said, that will warm you up. So he offers him a bowl of broth, and the traveller then picks the bowl of broth up and then starts blowing on it, and the satyr says, why are you blowing on the bowl of broth? And he said, well, I'm blowing on it because it's too hot, because, I need to cool it down. And the satyr says, I think you better make your way out of here. He says, because I can't trust you, you're blowing hot and cold. I don't know, one way or the other.
Is that where that saying comes from?
That's all that, yeah. Wow. So there's always like a bit of morality in the story, basically. And there's others in there that are depicted mainly around those themes.